Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and I don't know what order this video is gonna go up in, but this is still a bad day. See, same pajamas. I'm wearing Eeyore today. And I'm just really doing videos to help lift my mood. And the video that I'm doing today is the Never Have I Ever Plant Edition tag. And I was tagged by Ebony over at Booked and Rooted, and I will link her channel. I will link her tag video in the description box below, and I will also find out who the originator is of this tag, and I will link their video, the original video, in the description box below as well. So okay, let me tell you about me in this game. I don't play it. Because I tend to always be so damn drunk by the time the game is over when regularly playing Never Have I Ever. So, I also don't like, I have my drink sitting back here right now because I am a klutz. You don't get to see that on here because I'm sitting down, but I didn't want to drop it. But I also just don't sit my drink down while I'm playing because I have to sip too much. What I have that I'm drinking today is a double tequila sunrise. That is not how I normally drink my tequila sunrises. Typically I do what I call a deep tequila sunrise, which is a regular tequila sunrise with an extra shot. So double the tequila but not double the whole drink. But I did a double today because it looks prettier in the jar that way. See, it looks prettier with there being more. Deep tequila sunrise is much shorter in this glass. So I am going to pull up the questions and we're going to see how this goes. Okay, and I have pulled this up, so I'll link his channel in the description box below too. I've pulled this up on Nick Pileggi's channel because he's already done this and has the questions, and he also has the link to I think the originator of the, yep, he has the originator's link as well, who is from a girl with a garden. So yeah, that'll be linked below. All right, let's see how we go. And I've watched a couple of these, but I have not done them. I had this whole idea when I was going to do this video after I saw Ebony tag me that I was going to move some plants in here so that it looked planty, or record it in my office where my plants are. And the way that I'm feeling today, I just go ahead and do the video and yeah, and have fun and drink. So number one, never have I ever killed a cactus. I have not, because I don't own any cacti. I like plants that talk. I don't like plants that bite. So cacti and I, no. Number two, never have I ever took a plant cutting that was on the ground at a plant nursery. I have not. Typically when I go to a plant nursery, I am not looking at the ground, because the ground, especially at my local nursery that I go to, the ground is always wet, because typically when I go, it's watering time. So I'm not picking up like wet droppings from plants. That sounds really, really bad. But no, I'm not picking up wet stuff from plants. And when I go to big box stores like Lowe's and Home Depot, oddly enough, and Walmart, oddly enough, their plant sections on the floor are pretty clean. So yeah, no, I have not. This is better. This is already 2 questions in. This is the best I've ever played. Never have I ever spent more than $100 on one plant. Hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right now, 26 is the most I've ever paid for a plant. 100? No. There's so many things I could do with $100. You know how many books I can buy for $100? No. Number 4, never have I ever bought a plant just because it was trending on Instagram. We're 4 questions in and I'm just taking my first drink, because I have. I got Palea peperomoides because that was like the trendy plant on Instagram. I want to say of early 2019, and yeah, I'm over it. Over it. Never have I ever met another plant tuber. I have not in real life. I've messaged a couple. There are a couple that I follow on Instagram who live in areas where I have family. And so I've like messaged them on Instagram to ask That was too sweet. We mix this up. I was like all grenadine. To ask like for local nurseries when I visited some of my family in those areas, so that I could patronize a local nursery, but I've never met any of them in person. Number 6, never have I ever neglected a plant and purposely let it die a slow death. I have not. I am perfectly okay with tossing a plant that I no longer want. I live in a townhouse, and I only have windows on the east and west side of my house, and of those windows that I have, I only have plants in rooms that I am in frequently. So the space that I have for plants is limited, and so I'm not leaving a plant that I no longer want in that real estate where I could put a plant that I want. So no, I don't let it die slow death. I've either given it away or just tossed it. Number 7, never have I ever purchased a plant and then later regretted buying it. And what plant was it? I have the Pilea peperomioides. And I regretted buying it because it and I are having a very hard time. When I first got it, it grew so fast and so much. And I haven't thrown it away because part of me wants to see. I'm still taking care of it because part of me wants to see how it does. But yeah, the time that it's taking to watch this plant and the water that I'm giving to this plant, every time I water it, I'm like, am I wasting H2O on you? But yeah, I'm still taking care of it. Number 8, never have I ever bargained with the plant seller on a sale of a plant. No, I have not. I am not a haggler. The only times that I have ever actually experienced haggling is when like you go to New York and you ask someone of their, whatever they're selling, what the price of it is, and if it's more than what I want to pay for it, I am perfectly fine walking away from it, because if I don't want to spend what you're asking for, then it's not that important to me. I also know people who sell things, and I have a great respect for sellers and those people who are independent entrepreneurs. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, no, I have not. But the closest I've gotten to is when I will just walk away and be like, oh shoot, that's okay, and then they'll ask me if I will pay less for it. And so sometimes, more often than not, I would just say, no, that's okay. It's not, it's not something that I have to have. Because if you can sell it for the price you want to sell it for to somebody else, knock yourself out. But no, I have never bargained with the plant seller for the sale of a plant. Never have I ever killed a rare plant. I don't have any rare plants. The plants that I have, for the most part, except for one that's on its way. So I guess maybe that one will be rare, but I haven't had it. It's not here yet. But yeah, the plants that I have purchased locally. So I have a very mainstream local greenhouse. They do not get rare plants. Never have I ever, that was funny, traveled over an hour to shop and visit a plant nursery. I have not. No, there are 2 locations for the plant nursery here, and one is less than 3 miles from my house and the other is about 16 miles from my house, and everything else in between, like the big box stores, I have stopped in, but no, not over an hour. No. Do you know what I could do with that time and that gas? No. Never have I ever bought a plant that was so large it could barely fit in my car. Nope, that's number 11. No, I have not. Again, real estate in my house. Right now, plants, books, and Tot are fighting for space in this house. Never have I ever showered with my plants. No. No. Why? Number 13. Never have I ever gone on a no-buy. Never have I ever gone on a plant no-buy and it was successful. I have. Granted, it was 2 months, but that's a long time. From middle, well, it was 1 month. Middle of January to the end of February. I count that as like 1 month. Never have I ever gotten a plant for free. I have. Do funerals count? If so. Number 15. Never have I ever bought a plant as a gift for someone else, but then decided to keep it for myself instead. I have not. I have a couple of friends who have moved into houses and have asked me to either get them plants or like give them cuttings for my plants, which I have no problem doing. And instead of going and just buying plants for someone else, I am much more a fan of taking you with me when I go to buy plants, so that you can pick out your own plants. Because I think that picking out, like, I would rarely, there are very few people I would buy a book for, because you know, book taste, especially my book taste with some of my friends, book tastes are so different from person to person. And I think the same can be said for plants, and especially from house to house. Like, I have one friend who moved at the end of last year or middle of last year, and the exposure she has for light is completely different than what I have for my house and for my townhouse. And she has a single family dwelling where I have a single family townhouse, so she has a lot more window space. So when this whole virus, I've almost cussed, virus situation is over with and we can go to the stores again, I will be taking her with me when I go plant shopping, so that she can look at and see what she wants, and we can talk then. So no. The long answer to a long question. Number 16. Never have I ever sold a plant online. I've never sold anything online. If I have a plant that you want and I can give you cuttings of it, I would greatly, you know, be more than willing to give cuttings. But no, I'm not into selling things online. I almost took a drink. I can't, because I've never done that. Never have I ever deleted mean or inappropriate comments on YouTube. Abso-fucking-lutely. If you look at the about on my channel, it clearly says foolishness and fuckery will not be tolerated, and I mean that. I've heard there are, you know, decisions on both sides of this question, or statements on both sides of this question. Some people feel that deleting it gives more power to it than it deserves. In my opinion, once I've read it, I've given it power, and if I leave it there, then it's there to pollute the mind and the psyche of other people. And I particularly don't want people that I give a shit about seeing negative comments on my page and feeling the need to respond to those comments, and then some kind of other issue developing from something that's been on my page. On my page, I will delete you with the quickness, delete your comment, and block you. Number 18. Never have I ever bought a plant with the intent to propagate its cuttings for sale. I have not, and if I ever thought about doing that, my experience with over the past year with purchasing plants from, not even year, the past 6 months with purchasing plants from my local nursery would dissuade me from doing that, because I have missed out on a lot of plants that were available at my local nursery, because when they became available, people came in and bought them en masse. And like the seller, when the seller and I talked, he said that he knew they were coming in to purchase those, you know, those plants to propagate and sell them themselves. But what can you do? You can't tell somebody, oh no, you can't take, you know, though you can't take that many. And they were coming in like shifts. So one person would come in and buy 5, and then the next person would come in and buy 2, and then another person would come in and buy the rest. And like, I missed out on Birkins locally literally in a day, because the stock that they got in was sold within a day because of people doing that. And people have done it with some other plants too. So no, I've never done that, and I never will, because I don't want to put somebody in the position that I have been in recently with having to purchase. Like, I ordered 2 Birkins online because I was sick of trying to wait for one, and I've been trying to get one for 6 months. Okay. Number 19, never have I ever gone to a big box store. Never have I ever gone, or the grammar in this is off. Never in a few of these questions. Never have I ever gone on a big box store run and not gone to the garden center. I have. I am a very focused grocery shopper. And so if it's not on my list, typically I don't get it. Now, sometimes I will mess that up if I go grocery shopping hungry. But in most cases, because I'm very focused when I go to the grocery store and I am very cognizant of my budget, if it's not on my list, I don't go to the garden center. And if I'm going and I want to see what the garden center has, then I will put at the top of my list, because I will go to the garden center first before I get into the grocery shopping or whatever else. If I'm going to Lowe's or Home Depot for something in particular, I will put the garden center at the top of my list. But if it's not on my list, I don't go. So yeah. Can I drink again? And then the last question, number 20. Never have I ever met some of my followers in person. I've met one, I think. I think I've only met one. And she watches my BookTube videos, and we met up at a, not met up, but we ran into each other at a library book sale. And she told me that she watched my videos, and that was like the first time I had ever met somebody who watched my videos. I really don't think that there are people locally outside of like my mom and my friends who watch my videos. So yeah, that has happened once. And that is the end of the tag. Now, I don't know of the people who follow me who is into plants like that, except for one person. And that is Peta from Comfy Cozy Up. So, Peta, I'm tagging you, darling. Yeah. That's going to be the end of this video. And I'm going to finish this Tequila Sunrise. Maybe I shouldn't finish this all while I'm sitting right here. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Bye.